Okay, we're here with Christopher Mazzella, the Inspector General of Miami-Dade County, and we're going to talk to him about one of the ballot questions for the May 24th special election. It's an important ballot question that is kind of getting lost in the shuffle. It talks about commission salaries and term limits, and the ballot question has to do with the Office of the Inspector General and making it a permanent part of the Home Rule Charter. Correct?
Right. Correct. Very important.
All right. So with that, let's ask you the first question, and then why is this on the ballot, Chris?
Well, I'll tell you what. We've been in existence now for about 13 years. The office is created by county ordinance, and I have tried over the past number of years, really almost 8 years back, making the office a more permanent institution. The only way to really do that is to have it included in the charter. That way, a future Board of County Commissioners would not be able to dissolve the office without the voters' consent. So although we've had great support from the Board of County Commissioners, both as far as our jurisdiction, our powers and authority are concerned, and our funding, there is always that one weakness in the ordinance which would enable them to essentially vote us out of existence if they so decide. So this charter question is really important. I consider it among the most important, that we make the Office of Inspector General permanent, and to do so the voters would have to vote yes on that particular charter question.
And what number is it on the ballot?
It's number 56. We'll give it the yes vote, and we really seek the public support to do so.
And for the folks who don't know, the Office of the Inspector General is the office that's charged with eliminating graft and corruption in Miami-Dade County. So, Chris, why don't you tell us, some of how much you've saved us and the taxpayers, and how many people you've sent to jail for taking advantage of the public's trust.
Well, it's a real good question. We are the watchdog for the county, and really the only agency of its type in Miami-Dade County. Since our inception, we've been very successful. There have been over 215 arrests resulting from our investigations, as well as the indictment of 11 corporations. And those arrests have involved elected officials as well as public officials who were involved in bribery, extortion, misconduct, campaign financing fraud, and other types of misconduct. We've also have been very successful in identifying what we would consider questionable costs that the county has incurred through its contracting process, for example. Some $175 million worth of those types of problems. But we've actually recovered and saved the county over $78 million since our inception. So that's a great big number, and one that we're very happy about. And of course, it doesn't even bring into consideration the deterrent effect that our office has had on other criminal misconduct.
Now, I'm sure you've seen all sorts of scams being perpetrated on the county. Can you give us an example of the thing that was the most shocking to you in your time that you've been Inspector General? Well,
I'll tell you what. There are so many amazing scams in the county, and they take all sorts of ventures. But the one that really bothered me the most and involved many residents in Overtown and Liberty City and in the more disadvantaged communities were the predators who would come down and basically steal their homes. And we called this Operation Vulture. Essentially, what would happen at some juncture is that, for example, a resident who owned a home might have to go off to a nursing home for a while, or they were indisposed and not able to take care of their home. So these people would actually come in and spot these locations, and then phony up quick claim deeds, get the deeds filed, and essentially steal the home and then go sell the home to other unsuspecting individuals. We've also had situations where really smart attorneys and real estate brokers would convince a person to go into foreclosure, for example, when they were having difficulty making their payments or tax payments. They would file phony foreclosure affidavits with the court attesting to the fact that the owner of the house agreed to the conditions of the foreclosure. The house would go into foreclosure. The residents would essentially leave, but the attorneys and the real estate brokers would then take the equity in that house and essentially steal it, where that equity should be returned to the owner. And you know, those things were very, very troubling. People had tried to go to many different agencies to get help, but you know, it was just like, well, how do you steal a house? And so we really took a hard look at that case. We arrested over 12 individuals. We did get some restitution for the people that were harmed, and I think that's a type of thing that I'm very, very proud of.
And with that said, we're voting yes again on question 56.
Correct. Please.